where the stories climb high. Dr. Rhonda's in the groove where the pages touch the sky. Sip on inspiration, let the moments unwind. Every voice a horizon, new tales intertwine. From pen to passion where the art feels divine. Authors vibing together, creativity and time. So pull up your chair, let your spirit align. Horizons AuthorLounge where words come alive. Welcome to Horizons AuthorLounge.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M. Lawson, and I am back. And this is going to be a cool episode. First of all, big shout out to Curtis Bunn and all of the authors who turned out for the National Book Club Conference in Atlanta this past weekend. It was beautiful. I met so many great book clubs. I connected and reconnected with some wonderful authors. I was really happy to have my face in the place. I'll just tell you that. So now I'm kind of a little bit of a break from book events up until August 29th when I go to New York for the Harlem Book Fair. So if you are in the New York area, I really want to see you there. Because we are going to have a time. And so I will tell you more about that later, because actually later this month, we're going to have Max Rodriguez on the show. He is the founder of the Harlem Book Fair. And we have some amazing things planned for that event. A lot of things that are surrounding the event. And I want you guys to be there. Some more information to follow on that. But for right now, I would love to be able to welcome our first guest. So I'm gonna tell you, one of my fondest memories when I first started my my business was volunteering at the National Association of Black Journalists Conference. It was in New Orleans. I believe it was 2018. And it was an amazing experience. I mean, I got to kind of be backstage and help out. And I'm never going to forget, I didn't even realize I was talking to Sunny Hostin. It didn't even click with me. And I asked her if she was a producer for the show. And she was like, well, I guess you don't watch the show. And it hit me. I was like, oh, my goodness, I'm so sorry. But that's just how hands-on this this conference is. You get to meet so many great people. And I made some wonderful connections. And so I have the honor tonight to interview Miss Bonnie Davis, and she's going to be talking about the author panels that are going to take place throughout the National Association of Black Journalists Conference, which is, I believe, going to be in Atlanta, which is where I just came from, which is crazy. So lots of things going on. But without any further ado, I'm going to bring on Bonnie. Hello.
Hello, Dr. Rhonda. How are you tonight?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk with you about the NABJ.
Well, thank you for having me. It's great to be back. As you know, I was here in 2023, I believe, after my own book came out.
It's amazing how time flies, huh?
It's just, where does time go? But yeah, it's good to be here. Thank you for having me. And we're gearing up for next week in NABJ, our 51st year. So we'll be celebrating all along. Yeah, in Atlanta, as you said.
Yes, it's like Atlanta is kind of the hot spot right now. I mean, Invest Fest is next week. NABJ is next week. We just had the National Book Club Conference.
Right.
Black Writers Weekend just passed as well. So Atlanta is kind of the place to be right now.
Yes, it is. And I'm excited because I actually have not been to Atlanta since 2013. My daughter was there at Spelman. She graduated in 2010. So the whole time she was there, I was running back and forth. But since then, for some reason, so I hear everything that's happening and, all about the traffic, of course. But that's all good because, I know how to maneuver and I know how to stay away.
I'm going to tell you, don't drive because the traffic in Atlanta, depending on where you are, especially on the highway, it is crazy. We kind of Ubered, ride shared everywhere.
Right.
But even then, some of the drivers were out the box as well. So, I guess it's a trade-off either way.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Well, again, we're excited to present the Author Showcase in Atlanta. Last year we were in Cleveland, the year before in Chicago. So this is my second full year chairing and producing the author showcase, and
Wonderful.
it's a major signature event. It's been around since 1994, and it's an opportunity for us to showcase our authors who are journalists. You know, they work in newsrooms throughout the country, broadcast, print, public relations. It just runs the gamut. And this year we have about 22 authors, and with the people who will be interviewing them, we call them moderators.
Mm.
So that brings the number to maybe 40 people total. And
That is wonderful. And all of them aren't even journalists. Some of them are just regular authors. Is that correct?
yes and no, they're members. First of all, they have to be members for the most part to
Okay.
participate. Yes, so they may be um, media related member. They can be public relations, educators, academics, things of that nature. So sure, it runs across the board. And but the thing is, they're all very talented and creative, and have a lot of knowledge that they can share. And that's the beauty of it, because anytime we can showcase our Black writers,
Yes.
journalists, authors, who are, conducting research on all sorts of different topics, from history to politics to medicine. We have fiction, we have nonfiction. So it's just, wealth of information. And that's what we do. That's what we're trained to do as journalists. And certainly we're happy to be able to present them to our audiences and to all the readers out there.
Well, I love the fact Wayne said we don't need no stinking badges.
Say what?
Wayne, he said we don't need no stinking badges.
Is that Wayne Dawkins?
Mm-hmm.
Friend and longtime collaborator. Yes, well,
we're gonna have Wayne on a little bit later in the show, and I can already see that's gonna be a fun conversation.
Yeah, Wayne, just wait your turn, because he's a talker, and so is Jessica. So it's probably a good thing that you had me on first, because I'm more I'm more of an introvert. I like to sit back and observe and check people out and things of that nature, which probably is why I'm here. And got tapped to be the showcase chair. But Wayne actually did it, I think, for about 7 years, along with Angela Dotson and one other person whose name escapes me, and he'll talk about that. But yeah, it's we've been around for 30 years, and we've just had all sorts of various authors and journalists who come out, and tell their stories. And we also have panels. We have people who give us tips and advice on publishing, writing a book, first of all, and then going about the process of publishing. So, should you self-publish? Should you go with a mainstream publisher?
And that's a question we get quite a bit, whether you should self-publish or go with a traditional publisher. And I always tell people it really depends on your needs, and also your discipline and your and see, you started laughing before I can finish my sentence, but it's true. I mean, if you have a traditional publisher,
Right.
they're going to say your book needs to be to us by a certain time.
Mhm.
And if you don't have your book by a certain time, you can risk losing your contract.
Yes, indeed. And if you got that advance, you better be ready to fork it over.
I know that's right.
So trust and believe me. I self-published my book, Truth Tellers: The Power and Presence of Black Women Journalists, which came out in 2022. And mainly because I was a little bit impatient. Many of the women in my book are older, and some are in their 80s. And so I wanted it, to be done just in case something may have happened to them. Fortunately, that has not been the case. So I'm currently in the process of updating it. There are 24 women featured in the book. And so once I update it, I hope to include more women, maybe up to 6 or 7, and also to include my story as well. I think I have a little bit more to say about myself at this point, whereas I didn't, or I probably did, but didn't want to, 5 years ago. So, but the whole thing about self-publishing is it gives you more control
Right.
over what you want to say and how you say it, as opposed to going with the larger or mainstream publishers. And plus, it's not as easy these days, I think, to
I agree.
get a mainstream publisher unless you're already a big name or have a following, a huge following, or something along those lines. So, but it's worked out well for me, and I'm happy that I did it. And sometimes I have to sort of short or small grant to write the book.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, yes. So, and I'm a longtime member of NABJ. I started 2 chapters in Richmond, Virginia, which is where I live, and I was on the board, regional director. I edited the NABJ Journal. So I've been around for a while, and hopefully I will stick around a little bit longer, because it is a lot of work. It's it's a heavy lift, which is
Yeah.
what I like to say. But it's a labor of love as well, and I just I do it because I want to see these authors what's the word, expand,
There you
be
go. I like that.
recognized, get the recognition that they deserve, basically. So again, we have several authors that we will be featuring this year.
How many panels are there this year?
Panels or individual sessions with authors.
Okay. Let's just say
Mhm,
individual sessions with the author.
mhm, mhm. Again, we have about maybe 20 total, and then we have 2 or 3 panels that expand on some of the things that audience members would want to know and see and participate in. For example, one is a pitch session. If you have a topic in mind that you'd like to have someone professional give you some advice,
Yes.
we do that with Lainey Jemison and Angela Dotson. They will be leading the pitch session this year, and so you get, like, it's a timed event, and people are interested in writing a book or may have even started on a book. They come in and they talk about the premise of the book, and it's like speed dial almost. And and then the 2 presenters or critics, they give their advice and give their thoughts on what the author has pitched, and then pretty much go from there. And
I've seen the pitch panel in person when I volunteered years ago.
uh-huh.
And I'm quite sure it's evolved since then, but I will tell you that it's a tough panel. I mean, because they give you very, very particular advice, very particular feedback. I
Hmm.
like the fact that they don't sugarcoat it, because that's the only way that you're able to grow. And I wasn't even planning on pitching anything, but I wanted the feedback. So, when I had the opportunity to get on a microphone and pitch a client, they ripped the pitch apart, but it helped me to learn so much that I learned how to pitch later. I was still new in my business at that time.
Right,
So
right.
I recommend that anybody
Hmm.
who wants to learn to pitch, whether you're pitching yourself, whether you're pitching a client, you need to get in. You need to get in on that, or at least listen very carefully to the feedback that they're giving the other people.
Yes, yes. Was that at NABJ when you
It
did?
was. It was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm looking at the schedule now, and I believe that's scheduled for Friday, if I'm not mistaken, either Thursday or Friday. But all of the information, of course, is online, and there's a convention app as well. So it has the schedule, and the program book will offer some more details about it as well. So this year's showcase, in the past, it was 3.5 days, and the pitch would come on Saturday. but this year we're only going to do it for 3 days, which is Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Um, yeah, throughout the day. And we have some, some people who have published frequently, first time, and we have some first time authors as well. Um, and some of the topics, again, range from politics, healthcare, education, memoirs, all sorts of things. One in particular, well, I won't say one in particular, but I'll just hold up this book, The Price of Exclusion, which is by Nicole Carr. And it talks about the pursuit of healthcare in a segregated nation. So,
Oh, wow.
Nicole she's based in Atlanta. She's been all over the place promoting her book and having, book talks and things of that nature. And she's done a really good job. Oh, and by the way, Village Books, which is located in Atlanta, is our bookstore vendor this year. So they'll be on hand helping us in terms of selling the books and probably conducting some interviews with some of our authors to also post on their website. So that's a new feature that we're excited about. They've been very, very proactive, and I've learned a few things from them. So I'm so glad that Nicole referred them to us. So that's Nicole's book. It's doing well. I would advise you to get it. And her great grandfather, by the way, was a physician. So she talks about some of the things that he had to endure turn of the century in terms of his books, and in a segregated area. And as we know, healthcare is a huge and major concern for Black people these days, and continues to be a concern. So anything and everything that we can learn about that topic, I think that our audiences will enjoy. Also, we have Forgotten Souls. And this book is Cheryl W. Thompson. She's with NPR. She's been with the Washington Post, investigative reporting. Cheryl has won numerous awards. She's just, so gifted and talented when it comes to eking out information. And so we're really excited that she will be part of the showcase as well.
I think I got that book. I believe that that was one of the books they were giving out at the National Book Club conference.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I believe I got that book.
I think you got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're like me, you have so many books you don't even.
You should have seen my suitcase, Bonnie. I got to the point where I was like, I have to sell the books that I came with so I can make room for all of these books that I got.
And I was just starting to purge books. This is just an example.
Wow.
These have had, forever. So I'm starting when I used to review books with the newspaper, when I worked for the newspaper, and all these wonderful books would come in, and I think I was the only one interested in getting them. You paid like a quarter, and it came on with me. But yeah, and then you forget what you have. And so in preparing for tonight's show, I came across a couple of books. I know Wayne will enjoy hearing about them. I think I left them in another room. But one book is when you talk about Black journalists who become authors. Now, it's common in academia, of course, if you're teaching, to write a book. I mean, publish or perish, they say. But I was just sort of looking to my side and saw where, oh gosh, what is his name? Make Me Want to Holler.
Oh, Nate
McCall's book. And I was like, well, he was writing books. I think that book came out in 1994.
Right.
We had Dr. Jeanette Dates, who's at Howard. She wrote about African Americans in the media back then. Earl Caldwell have his book as well. And Earl has been or was at Hampton for a long time. But,
okay,
he wrote for the New York Times and was part of the Sullivan case back in the day. So Black journalists who've been around for a long time, and in terms of writing books, Ida B. Wells wrote an autobiography back in the day, along with you have Lerone Bennett, who wrote many articles for. He was an editor for Ebony magazine, and he
Okay.
also wrote many books too. So it's kind of part and parcel. I always knew as a journalist I would write a book. Had not decided on what to write or when to write until I went into academia and sort of came up with the idea for truth tellers because um, I was teaching a course on
Okay.
women in journalism, so it sort of morphed into that, and there were other reasons as well. So very happy with that. Yeah. So those are two examples. One book that I'm really enjoying as well is House of Diggs. I guess you
Okay, I
all.
haven't read that one.
Yes, it's a book by Marion Orr. Marion's a professor at Brown University. And so it's about Charles C. Diggs Jr., who was the first black congressman from Detroit, Michigan. And I think he came into office back in the 1950s, 1940, mid 40s or 50s, if I'm not mistaken. I'm thinking maybe the 50s. And so at that time, he was the third black congressman. The other one was Adam Clayton Powell.
Yeah.
And someone, can't remember his first name, but his last name was Dawson. And so that trio, they formed a powerhouse. And during that time,
So it seems like
um,
there's going to be a pretty good variety of authors and books
mhm,
there.
yes, yes, yes. It's just like I said, yeah, Chanel Jones. I'm looking out at all of these books now, but um, she's one of our
That's
authors as well. And everyone knows Chanel Jones, who's with NBC, The Today Show, and Jenna and Chanel. So it's a really good read. I read it. I was on a cruise um, to Alaska back in June. I think summer's gone by so quickly,
mm.
but that's what I did. I mostly sat on the observation deck with a glass of wine or coffee,
Hey,
mostly coffee.
you're my kind of girl. I like wine and coffee and a good book.
Peace and quiet, honey. Just,
Yes.
know.
Now, I did want to touch on something you said earlier. You said that in order to be a part of any panel or to be an author with
Mhm.
NABJ,
Right.
you have to be a member.
Yes.
I'm sure you get, even with members, you still get a lot of inquiries and a lot of applications, so to speak, to be a part of these panels. So how do you choose
Uh-huh.
who's going to be selected? Are you looking for specific topics, or do you have a judging panel? How does that work?
Yes. Well, first of all, surprisingly, we do not get that many entries, or
Hmm.
I have not experienced that in the 2 years, 2.5 years I've been working with it now. That may have differed in the past, and Wayne can speak to that. But I would say this year we probably got, maybe 25, between 25 and 30 applications. And of that number, maybe 18 to 20 were selected because some people are selected and may end up dropping out, which was the
Right.
case with one or two authors. But the selection process, we have a team of judges who are sent the books. Well, the authors send me 2 copies of the books, and then I get 1 copy of the book to the various judges. In the past, we've had various chapters to review the books. Last year, Hampton Roads chapter did it, and this year I didn't have much luck recruiting a chapter. So what I did was simply to get NABJ members, people I know and who I knew I could count on to author the books. And I also offer, this is something new. Again, I don't know if it's been done in the past, but I had a sponsor who offered them like a little stipend
Oh, well, that's great.
So that was a little incentive, and
Yes.
they knew they had to deliver,
I like that.
so they would get paid.
Yeah, and I'm about to say nothing wrong with getting a little change now.
Well, I mean, that's what, when I was teaching and I had to review books all the time. So, but there was always, a little reward, and, because time is money these days. So that's what I did. And so I'm implementing, a few little changes here and there that I think will, in the long run, help. Just like being on your show, for example, to get the word out about the showcase. Because as long as NABJ has been around, we're still considered young in a lot of circles. And, people outside of the industry or profession, they don't really know about us unless, there's a family member like me and in my family. So they know all about NABJ because I've been going to conferences, for
Right.
the past 4 decades, really. But, in general, people don't know. I can remember when I started in the industry and would tell people I was a journalist, and they assumed I was on television or,
Right.
worked for the black newspaper, which I did, work for a couple, but I mainly worked for mainstream, organizations. So, and where, there were only 1 or 2 of us in the newsroom, which is why I was able to get those books I got, because nobody else was picking them up.
Mm.
Yes, but so anyway, that's what we do. Once the books come in, they're reviewed within 30 days because the application goes out in November, and the deadline is the end of January when
Okay.
whoever wants to be in the showcase, they have to be have their application in by the end of January. So the books are reviewed over a 30-day period. And once that's done, I think my deadline is end of March in terms of turning in the list and determining. And, we look for quality. There's not a certain length, I believe. Probably the largest book that we have this year might be Derek's book, Derek Jackson, who writes about his time spent covering federal government during the Trump administration. So it's a pretty hefty book. Gosh, it looks like it's more than 400 pages, almost 500
That's
pages.
a textbook.
Yes, but it's there. And, it's good that he wrote it because, everybody knows what's been going on. So it's to have this go-to manual of sorts. He's to be commended for that effort. So once we do that, then and we have our list of authors, and they've sent in all of their different assets in terms of bio and photographs and things like that. Next part is putting together the schedule and organizing all of that information and sitting and thinking about what order and how do we want to present and how long will each session be, and all of those things. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work because there are countless phone conversations and telephone emails, and I think I'm going to have to get a separate email account next year for this.
Yeah, that might be good. That way it doesn't get buried under your other email.
For sure.
Right.
So, and then so it's really, year round. It's not a full-time job, but it could be because I do have a full-time job. Well, no, I don't. I forget. When you work all the time, it just sort of blends.
I get it.
But yeah, so that's the gist of it. And then we just keep working up until it's time for the convention. So, yeah.
Okay, well, I have added our 2 special guests, Wayne Dawkins and Jessica Tillis. Both of them are going to be part of author panels. So since that's what we were talking about, I figured this is a good time to introduce them. So hello, Wayne and Jessica, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. Jessica and I go way back.
Yeah, way 20 plus years back.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, don't tell them that long.
Girl, we still look good though.
You
I
do.
still
You
look
do.
good.
Yes. And Jessica was really helpful with my book. I don't know if that's how you found out about me, Rhonda, or not, but yeah, with the formatting and editing and all sorts of good things, it was just, she was so helpful, and called on her several times since then to help other people. And she's always, willing and able. So thank you, Jessica.
You're welcome. Anything for you?
Yes. And she
Oh,
also did my website. So,
Yeah.
hey,
oh,
Wayne, can't hear you.
yeah, we can't hear you, Wayne, and you're not muted. Is your sound connected?
He'll get it together.
It'll come. But while
Right.
Wayne is working on that, Jessica, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself?
Well, um, I am Jessica Tillis. I'm a national best-selling author, award-winning publisher, and I am the author of 15, 16 books. I lost track.
Mm.
And I'm also a ghostwriter. I'm also the founder and creative director of TWA Solutions and Services. And I write nasty erotic books.
Jessica.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Well, now what you gonna tell the
Okay.
good journalists about your nasty erotic book?
Listen.
I thought she was going to behave, but
No, I could have told you Jessica was not gonna behave.
Can you hear me?
we can
Yay!
hear you now. We
Yeah,
hope you didn't hear Jessica.
I write in any genre pretty much. And I've been doing this full time for 26 years. Thank you, God. Absolutely love it. Wouldn't want to be doing anything else.
Amen. I love that. Thank you for joining us. Now, Wayne, tell us a bit about yourself.
Okay. I am a native New Yorker from Brooklyn, USA, and I sum up my career as 4 newspapers, 2 news services, 6 books.
Wow.
So that's and I'm now retired, although I retired in May. Although retirement, I'm learning, is a full-time job.
Yes, it
Um,
is.
because I've had to bring all my stuff home, and I collect a lot of stuff, so I'm trying to fit my books in to the house. I I still clip newspapers and magazines, so I have binders and pound binders of stuff, so I'm archiving. So it's a full-time job now that I'm home all the time.
It's funny, they say that when we retire, we're supposed to just kick back, travel, you know, just enjoy life. But it never
Well,
happened that
you
way.
know what? And I think Bonnie can correct me. Among our peers, retirement has air quotes around it, because all it really means is that you're retired because you're not working for somebody else. But we got things we have to do or we want to do on our
Right.
terms. So that's which is cool. So as long as I'm healthy, I'm going to this is what I do.
Oh, yeah. Same.
So what are you going I know both of you are part of panels. Can you tell me a bit about the panels that you're going to be part of?
Okay, well, I'm going to get 3 bites of the apple. The biggest bite is the book Black and Golden, which is
Yes, I was going
the
to ask you about
trilogy of NABJ's story on its 50th anniversary. And when I realized it was 2 years to the anniversary and I had not written this trilogy book, as the Beatles said, I get by with a little help from my friends. So I recruited 9 of my colleagues, Bonnie included, and the metaphor I use is that my focus was going to be on the 21st century and the digital age, but I wanted my 9 co-writers to write about the sturdy branches of this now mature NABJ tree. and they're very thick branches. So Bonnie wrote about arts and entertainment. We had other writers who wrote about sports, which is still the strongest, most powerful branch on the tree. Business, technology, the two most interesting. I asked everyone to write about 2,500 words, but
Okay.
two writers wrote at least 5,000, and they apologized profusely, but I said, it's okay, because these were the two most fraught interest groups in NABJ. They
Mhm.
were the PR professionals who, when NABJ founded 50 years ago, they said to be a member, you have to be a full-time working journalist. And as far as the other folks on, that are close to us, we're going to have to figure it out how we're going to include you, but we can't include you yet. So the PR people, a lot of them were miffed, but some still
Right.
hung with us. And then there were the academics. There were very few at the founding. Probably you could count the number of full-time Black journalism and mass comm professors on one hand. And we just didn't, we hadn't built that kind of cohort, as we in academic speak. So, but we finally did. And now it's only in the last year that the NABJ educators, and we're about 200 strong, we're now an official interest group in NABJ. So it was to bring all these folks together. I took on the role of editorial director and author. So probably the first of those 2 years was making sure the writers had the resources they needed and the direction. And by the end of the year, all their pieces were coming in. They did a great job. And then it was my turn to bring it on home and do what I call the 21st Century Almanac, kind of a running chronology of what's happened in this 21st century digital century, which is a roller coaster ride. Still is. We're still going up and down. I mean, the news changes every 24 hours. Like for instance, streaming media, I call that the greatest knife fight that ever existed. People are cutting each other between Disney and Netflix and Warner and cable. The cord has been cut on cable.
Yes.
Cable is pretty much dead, and now we're into streaming. But who knows? It may not even be a generation before we change. It may change in 2 or 3 years, and then there'll be roadkill, and then we've moved on to something better. So that's the world we live in. It's pretty exciting. But I get 3 bites of the apple, like I said. That book, Bonnie asked for a volunteer, and I agreed to moderate the Wednesday panel on marketing books. And Bonnie was holding up books. I will interview my longtime friend, colleague, collaborator Angela Dotson about her America 250 book called "We've Been Here Before," which is 250 pages, but it is so tightly packed. It could easily have been a 400 or 500 page book that she and her late husband wrote. But it's just great for the lucid writing and the sourcing at the end. It doesn't have an index, but it has sources like you wouldn't believe. Like one or 2 chapters has at least 100 sources.
Wow.
In the end notes.
I have it here too. Yeah.
And you said this is the America 250 book.
It's one of many. So this is the 250th anniversary,
right?
And we have 2 really good ones. It's hers and another colleague, Gloria Brown Marshall, her book is called A Protest History of America. So there's so many people who should read books like this, because the many things we take for granted, it didn't just happen just magically. A lot of blood was spilled. Yes. I mean, Angela's book has 2 of the 9 chapters are about the women's movement. That was a long and oftentimes bloody struggle. I'll never forget, as a reporter covering with the women's right to vote, you hear about Elizabeth Cady Stanton and the other person, but a key person was a Quaker from New Jersey named Alice Paul. And as a reporter in New Jersey, I covered a ceremony recognizing Alice Paul. She was from one of the towns I covered, Moorestown, New Jersey. And the women all showed up wearing white and purple. So trying to be a reporter that pays attention, I said, well, what does the clothes symbolize? And they said, yes, the white means purity and the purple means integrity. Yeah. And we don't hear a lot about Alice Paul, but she was a heavy lifter in that movement. It's just that the Quakers tend to not really brag on themselves too much. They say that's bad form. So she was kind of under the radar, but I'm glad I saw her prominently in Angela's book. But Angela did a great job reporting.
Yeah.
I like the fact that
our reviewer gave her raving reviews as well.
Oh, that's awesome. I like the fact that that Black authors are writing about America 250, because this is our America 250 too.
Yeah.
We contributed so much to this history, and I don't believe that we should sit this out. We should be celebrating our own piece of America 250 as well. So I'm glad to know about these books.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that. One of the people who vetted books about America 250, somehow there was not one book by a Black woman author. So between some key people, Marita Golden, it was like, bang.
Yes.
We can give you 25, just a snap of our fingers. Why do we always have to raise our voice to say, we're right here. Come on now. So anyway.
Right. You're not lying. So what's your third piece of the apple?
Well, the third piece is interviewing Angela, and I look forward to that. I call it kind of it's going to be like an author relay race, because Randall Pinkston's going to interview me. I'm going to interview Angela Dotson. Angela's going to interview Gloria Brown Marshall. So we got this kind of synergy going on. The interesting thing about the showcase, when it started in the 90s, and some of NABJ's leaders were kind of wary. Now we have enough members who've been around for a while, and they have either book ideas or people kind of plant the seed and say, hey, you may have a story to tell. So there was some kind of uneasiness for about a decade until certain people had to get over themselves and say, look, the door has been cracked open and people are going to keep writing. And we haven't been back to Atlanta since 2005. So I'm hoping for two things. One, that our bookseller will be smiling ear to ear like the previous bookseller in 2005, because every kind of book was selling, whether it was a first-time author or an experienced one. During the kind of open book signing with the all the authors in one room, rookies, seasoned pros in between. And I remember I was sitting next to the great B.B. Moore Campbell. And she said, look, I come to all these things. She was at the height of her powers. And she said, I never take these things for granted, whether they're the big events or the very small events. But I'm going to be out here hustling like a first-time author who's just trying to get in the game. So that was very good to hear.
That's awesome. Now, Jessica, is this your first NABJ?
Yes.
Okay, so how are you preparing yourself?
I'm sorry, say that again.
I was just saying, how are you preparing yourself?
I'm nervous, honestly.
Can I suggest something to you? Because I'm laughing because a few of my students are coming for the first time. My warning to you is that NABJ is the greatest all-you-can-eat feast you can imagine, but don't gorge yourself or you'll get sick. So you'll need to manage your time. The good news is about NABJ is that everyone that I know is welcoming. You're going to see the people, the so-called superstars of the industry, but at NABJ, we're one big family and we're welcoming to people who are new. You're going to have to manage your time because there are now so many of us there that you're going to keep running into people you know in the hallway, and you're trying to get to an event or something, but you've had about 15 10-minute conversations with your friends,
Right.
or people you're going to meet.
Right.
So you have to manage your time. I mean, even if you really want to have a drink or have a meal with someone, you may have to make an appointment, because that's what I've had to do. Bonnie's rolling her eyes.
It's like, I mean, for someone like Wayne and myself, we've been in academia, various newsrooms. So we have tons of students, we have newsroom colleagues, and then we have the people within NABJ, the chapters, who are colleagues, they're friends, and or we served on the board together, or we've been on committees and judge contests, and that's how we've gotten to know so many people. So yeah. So usually I just sort of retreat and go hide and go to my room.
and we have this new energy, because now we expect more, at least 4,000 people, maybe more. But we have, in 2018, it was official. The president announced that now the largest group inside the association were millennials. So us baby boomers, we've now receded to the back of the line. They become what we were a half a lifetime ago, but they brought new energy to the organization, which is why we managed to have 3,500 people come to Birmingham, Alabama. That was amazing. And then, 4,000 in Chicago. Cleveland did a spectacular job hosting us, but we had 3,500. But when you consider, with all the anti-DEI stuff that was going on, that was a success despite all the hits we were taking. As of this year, the hotels were sold out in January.
Wow.
I had to nag my regional director to say, give me a heads up when the doors open, so I can get into the Marriott. And although a lot of the job fair companies avoided us last year and we had a net loss, when I was at the virtual NABJ board meeting, they said they had filled all their spots and they were trying to figure out how to squeeze some people in last minute.
Yes.
So, it's Atlanta. Any Black person can get to Atlanta, or is going to get to Atlanta.
There.
Yeah, that's what it's designed for.
Making me want to come back. I'm gonna have to go ahead and just come on back over.
And by the way, I'll see you on the 29th at the Harlem Book Fair.
Excuse me, teacher. Teacher.
Yes.
Yes, Jessica.
Wayne, are you done?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Good Lord, no.
I have to curb my enthusiasm.
And don't let Bonnie fool you. Bonnie taught myself Bonnie long-winded. I'm just saying that.
People say that. I don't know why people say that, but anyway, it must be true.
I don't know why. But to answer your question, Rhonda, I'm prepared with 26 years of experience.
Yes.
In book publishing, book marketing, book promoting, anything book. So I'm going to get up there. And Wayne, are you narrating that? I'm not narrating, but
moderating.
With Curtis. And,
with Curtis. And okay, so I'm just going to get up there and just be Jessica. And I'm going to watch my mouth, Bonnie.
Please. Well, considering the company you'll be in,
right?
Overall.
Well, Jessica, what is your panel going to be about?
It's going to be about book publishing, building book buzz, book marketing, everything book.
Okay.
Yes, from start to finish, from the idea to getting it on paper. To getting it out in the public, pushing it, all of those good things. We actually have another session that's somewhat similar. We try to have a variety on each day, because everybody can't make it every day. So
we
try to provide a little bit of everything for everybody. Yeah.
So, for people who are watching this and they will either not be able to attend, or maybe they can't attend because they're not a journalist or a media related partner, um, are there ways to get a stream of the workshops, or is this one of those cases you have to be registered to see this?
I would say, depending, one of the best things about the convention for the last 30 years is the student media projects. So there will be a website, nabjmonitor.org, and there will be daily coverage of the convention.
Wow.
I hope they'll do something about the showcase. So we have NABJ TV, we have the convention newspaper, and the radio project, and the online site. So that might be a way in. But the Bonnie, the sessions are still videotaped, right?
No, they're
No,
not.
they're
No,
not.
they haven't. I don't know that they've ever been. I've asked Angela about it, and from my knowledge,
That was Alexis's legacy.
oh well, I don't recall then.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, and where would they be? Where would those sessions be? Where are they
Well, I
housed?
mean, because when Alexis Yancey took the session, and she was a longtime producer at CBS,
Mm-hmm.
she tasked someone to videotape. Since you picked up the baton and you picked people to interview the author,
Right.
someone would shoot that with a video camera. So,
Yes. Yes. Not to my knowledge, and certainly not, while I've been doing it. But I think it's something that we should try to add and find a budget for it,
yeah.
that person. I know that Village Books, the bookstore vendor, they're planning to do some live interviews, and they're pretty good with marketing and all of that. So
Good.
hopefully they'll capture some of it, and people who visit the bookstore will see it. Um, sometimes the authors may have someone videotaping their sessions as well, and they tend to post it. As a matter of fact, one of our authors who presented last year his book, Lee Hawkins, I Am Nobody's Slave, he did such a wonderful job in terms of promoting it while he was in Cleveland. He was on the local Cleveland station. I was sitting in my room and I was like, that's Lee. So he had already set it up and everything, and that's part of it. You have to get out there.
That's a really good point.
Right.
That if you're going to be a part of the panel, you can still promote yourself. You can promote your panel. This person Lee Hawkins wound up being on the local news talking about his appearance at the NABJ. You don't have to depend on NABJ to do everything for you.
Yes, yes. And something else that I would like to do, because this should not be, we have so much talent, and it should not be a one-time thing, 1 month out of an entire year. So with my Media Institute, I would love to bring in some of these authors as well, to Richmond, or to do it by Zoom or whatever. I mean, the sky's the limit. It's just finding the time and the resources, of course, to do it. And right now I haven't really come up with a way to do it except to just do it. Hey, can you come do this, that, and other? So we'll see. We're yeah. Maybe you can help us with it, Rhonda. I mean,
I would love to. And you tell me what you need, and I'm gonna make it happen.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. But
So
I'm sure you have some more to add.
Well, I was just gonna say we're approaching the end of the show, unfortunately, but I did want to go around the room for our final thoughts, and I'll start with you, Jessica.
I cannot wait. I am so excited to attend the National Association of Black Journalists. And of course, this is my first time. Thank you, Bonnie, for including me. I just, thank you for opening that door. And I'm going to have my little autograph book. Because all of my favorite journalists from the West Coast to the East Coast, I said, "May I your signature, please?" Yeah, I can't wait. I'm terrified of flying. Okay, I'm doing this for you, Bonnie.
You know what?
I hope you got a nonstop flight. I told you I was in Atlanta. It's like maybe an hour and a half, probably not even a full 2
Yeah,
hours.
I have a direct flight. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna be fine.
I cannot believe you're fearful of flying.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
But I fly all the time. I just need something to knock me out.
You'll be fine.
You are gonna be great.
Yes.
All right, so Wayne, I'm moving over to you.
Okay. With each day, I'm looking forward to being in Atlanta. I'll have all 3 NABJ books for sale. And pushing forward, I have a chapter forthcoming in a book called Forging Freedom, which is about the 200th anniversary of the Black press in America in 2027, when Freedom's Journal was launched. And my chapter will be about a newspaper called The City Sun that was published by my mentor, Andy Cooper. And the chapter is called The Center of the Black Universe, ? About New York in the 80s, when the City Sun and the Amsterdam News and others were slugging it out. It was a crazy time.
That sounds really interesting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thanks for inviting me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I apologize for being over exuberant, but I wasn't like this when I was a teenager. I was a very, someone gave me permission to be this way now, and now you can't shut me up.
Oh,
I'm the same way, so it's okay.
Oh my goodness.
There you go.
You both have big personalities, and that's a wonderful thing. Plus, you're smart and intelligent and all those good things as well. But in talking about who tells our stories, in terms of tonight's theme or headline, I did jot down some things that I think are important, in that our stories are most accurate. Our stories are the most accurate, nuanced, and humane when we tell them. Black journalists and authors bring lived experience, context, and care that are too often missing from mainstream narratives. In terms of the Author Showcase, it's a platform that amplifies Black voices across genres, nonfiction, fiction, memoir, children's books, and connects our authors directly with readers, journalists, educators, and students. And finally, this year's showcase in Atlanta highlights books that focus on history, justice, identity, and joy. So audiences and readers will see a range of work that documents our struggles, celebrates our resilience, and imagines new features. So,
wonderful. Thank you for that.
Do it.
Those are great final words. I'm glad that I chose to have you speak last.
Thank you. Well, we're so glad you took the time to have us on your show. We so appreciate it.
No, and I appreciate you, and thank you for inviting me to be able to do this interview, because like I said, I'm always going to have a place in my heart for NABJ, and I love you. I love everything that you guys are doing. So this was an honor for me as well. Yeah. So lastly, just very quickly, Jessica, where can we find your books?
www.jessicatilles.com.
And your latest book is?
Indiscretions. But I have a new book coming out September, October, What She Did for Love, and for Christmas, the sequel, A Necessary Lie.
Yay! Yay! So we're gonna have you back here.
Yes, please. I would love that.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna make it happen. So, Wayne, where can we find your books?
You can find all of my titles on Amazon.com and at augustpress.biz, B-I-Z.
All right, we'll be looking for it. And the latest book is the Black and Golden.
Black
correct?
and Golden, 50 years of the National Association of Black Journalists.
All right. Yeah, I have it, and I'm diving into it.
Yes, yes, indeed. So, and who was I supposed to send a copy to? You, Jessica, or someone?
Well, you can send a copy to me if you want.
I think I have 2 left, which means I'm going to have to steal some from Wayne. Yeah, I'll do it. Wayne, yeah, that's it. Wayne.
It isn't stealing, Bonnie. You're vested in this. You're good for
That's
it.
right. I did. Right. I do have a chapter in there. I forgot.
And Bonnie,
Which is hilarious in the beginning.
Yeah,
okay. And Bonnie, when is your new book?
Yeah, Amazon. Or people can contact me directly, visit my website to order my book.
Awesome. Well, thank you all once again for being a part of the Horizons Author Lounge. I knew this was going to be a fun show. There we go, truth tellers. Yes.
If anybody out there is looking, who knows?
That's when you happen when you have 3 hams on at one time.
I am not mad at it. I am not mad at it at all. Well, thank you all once again. Have some safe travels to Atlanta. I already know it's going to be an uber successful event, and I'm looking forward to hearing more about your panels.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
All right, so everybody, we just finished talking to some of the panelists for the National Association of Black Journalists author showcase. And so if you are going to be in Atlanta, you already see that you are going to have a time. So I want to thank all of you for joining us tonight. One quick reminder, we have one more day to sign up for the holiday sprint, the holiday list sprint. If you are an author and you want to optimize your book so you can get onto more lists before the holidays, because a lot of people like to buy books for the holidays, I want you to be able to get your book on some of those recommendation lists that come out before the holiday season starts. So if you are an author and you want help optimizing your book, I want you to be a part of my holiday list sprint, which starts on the 5th, which is in 2 days. But tomorrow is the very last day to sign up. So don't miss out on this. I don't want you to get left behind for the holidays. You guys really need to be a part of this. So I'm going to put the link in the chat, and I want you guys to click that link. And I want you to join the movement because I want to see you get sales. You can't, I mean, it's nice to just depend on social media, but there are a lot of people who are trying to optimize their books because people are looking for books now using AI search. People are looking for recommendations. And so that's what this list sprint is going to be all about. So if you want more information, just click this link that I just put in the chat. It's called List Me MTW. So if you go there, you'll find more information. You can click the link. You can sign up to be on this cohort. And we're going to optimize your book so you can get on some lists, so you can get some holiday sales. I want to see you win. This is not just a one-person thing. This is something that we have to do together. So more information, make sure you reach out to me. But that's all we have for tonight, guys. Thank you once again for joining me tonight. Thank you for supporting the Horizons Author Lounge. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to us on YouTube so we can continue to help this show to grow, so we can continue to support more and more authors, especially our independent authors who don't have as big a platform as some of the bigger names. We want to be able to give you that platform and give you a voice right here on Horizons Author Lounge. So that's all I have for tonight, guys. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow on Black Authors Matter TV. And then I'll see you right back here next week where we're going to interview 2 more amazing authors. And these are going to be authors that I met in Indiana. So I'm really looking forward to reconnecting with them. All right, guys, you have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.